Look. Life chapter. Real talk. Yo. I kept getting spiked by well, he was supposed to be my mate. But every time I had it, I had a couple of drags, and afterwards he'd say to me, "Oh, it's not weed, it's legals," and I'd walk off like we had messed up. And after a while, after 2 or 3 times, got addicted to it. It's that easy, just to get addicted to it like out of nowhere. It's like at 1 minute you're thinking, "Oh, I'm not going to be addicted to this, I'm not going to be addicted to it." Next thing you know, you're like, "I need it." When I very first had it, I didn't know I was having it, but it tasted a bit off, like this doesn't taste right. But as soon as you have 2 minutes later, you start wobbling, your face goes white, you look like a zombie basically, your eyes are red, you're stumbling everywhere, you feel achy, sick, but you feel it just mixing with your body inside. As soon as you inhale it, you can feel it all mixing with your stomach and everything. It feels horrible, but it's like you need it. When I didn't have it, it get me stressed out, paranoid. I'm always thinking something bad's about to happen, like, "Oh, I haven't had it, so this is going to happen to me now, this is going to happen." I'm a paranoid guy with a paranoid mind. All of my friends that are telling me lies, cause the legal highs, yeah, it was taking on my mind. I was so high, sending into death's ice. I said to my bro, "I'm not leaving." Check him on the morning, the see if still breathing, yeah. And I'm still grieving, those are my friends that I no longer bring, cause they rolled 1 joint and had 2 drugs. Another lying dead in a body bag. It's a shame, crazy chemicals messing up my brain. It feels like that I'm going insane. I got pains in my chest, I don't know what it was. It was just started getting pains all here, and then when I did have it, it went away. It's constantly a cycle going round in your head that's just basically scaring you into having it. Wake up early in the morning, I go downstairs, rob money out of my mum's purse, leave a note saying I've gone out, go and buy it, sit in an abandoned place where there's no one around, smoke all day, go home and not remember that day. I was doing that day after day for over 2 years. It just makes you feel rotten inside for the things that you've actually done. I became someone else. I weren't me. I got angry with everyone. I got angry with my family. I lost a lot of weight. My anger picked up a lot. I lost control all the time. It was just wrong. It weren't me, if you get what I mean. Life's not the same, life's not a game. Being nice, get hurt, that's the way it is. It's gone, that is where you got to live. And when you're smoking it, you don't know what it does, cause it feels it can't be touched. And it's hard to get off the drug. It feels like you're being dragged to the floor, and you're looking around, and you can't hear it no more. So let me tell you a bit about my life. And yeah, I was addicted to legal highs, but really I was smoking it daily, just trying to look for someone to save me. As soon as you have 1 drag of that, you've hit rock bottom instantly. In your head, it's like a dark place with water just dripping. You can't find the tap. It's always tipping in your head. Always like click, click, click in your head. So it's just then getting you paranoid. Always making you feel stressed, like something's going on, but you can't get to it. And it's just frightening. I got on it coming up to my 13th birthday, and I got off it a month before my 15th. I can't remember the 2 years, I can't remember what had happened from when I was younger, I can't remember my childhood, I can't remember nothing. The only thing I can remember was the day I got off it. Actually said to myself, I'm getting off this now, I'm done. I can't. I'm seeing how much pain I'm putting my family through and what it's doing to them. Because if I die, it's going to have a lot of impact on their life as well. I'm just killing myself in front of them. All I wanted was that illegal rush, but it feels like that my heart has been crushed. All my organs have turned into mush. It feels like they high on love, but really you're dying from the stuff. But really you're dying from the stuff. If anyone ever offers you, just walk away, honestly.
They think they're cool, but they're not. They're just little dirty people who take drugs.
They think it's got no harm, but it can land them in hospital, death, maybe even just critically ill.
Well, maybe some people do it for pleasure, some people do it because they need to.
If they get stressed or just if they feel low or something, to get high.
Some people might do it out of peer pressure.
Because they're bored, depressed, or they think it's cool, or it's just something to do.
What would be cool about it?
Don't know, just go around to brag about it.
Like brag about like what drugs they've done, like telling the mates.
When really they just look like a freak, slash muppet, slash weirdo.
Because they've took them once and liked it, so they took it again and got addicted to it.
I've got my heart set on you. I've thrown all caution away. For the moment you'll be there for me. At the end of the day, I'll be there for you.
With weed, cannabis being the main drug, now young people are smoking skunk, which is really expensive, really. £10 bag, they're getting 2 joints, a £20 bag, 4 joints, which doesn't last them very long. With the likes of the Spice, the Happy Joker, Black Mamba coming on the scene, they were getting a gram for £7, so they were getting a large amount for a small amount of money. So with that, we've seen lots of young people using it in a short space of time. I come across it, 2 young lads, smoked it for the first time, went home playing on the Xbox. One was having heart palpitations, and said to his mate, I'm going to have to phone an ambulance. Phoned an ambulance, got to the hospital. I think the heartbeat was 3 times as fast as it should have been, and basically the hospital said, you were lucky, you haven't had an heart attack. From that, progressed, I seen kids being a bit delirious, walking in roads, kids falling over, cracking their heads, getting run over. And then to the other extremes where some young people I were working with were physically addicted to it. Just crying in pain every day they never used, stomach cramps, vomiting. I've actually seen 2 lads who I've worked with since the age of 12, 13, they were 17 at the time, phoned me, crying on the phone, saying, John, please come round, we need help. Turned up at this flat, 2 lads rolling around on the floor, holding their stomachs, crying their eyes out, saying, we want to kill ourselves, we can't go through this pain no more. And due to the pain they were feeling, they'd use again. So there's loads of help out there, there's amazing websites like Frank. I'm not very good with technology, but the Frank website's so easy to use, fun, interactive. It's got videos you can watch, frequently asked questions, you've got people who've on there who've used it, tell you their experiences, explanations of every drug out there, and there's just loads of help. If you go on the internet, just look up in your area, and there's always someone there to help you. The help's out there, so go and get it. So you can actually contact someone for support and it will always stay confidential, which is a brilliant thing, which a lot of young people we work with, that's the first thing they ask. Will my mum find out? Will the school find out? No, they won't. That is up to you. And that's the way it is, really. You know, it's not rocket science. If you're going out with people who are using drugs every day, The reality is you're likely to go and use drugs. So it's about using that thought process. If you've got a group of mates who are not using drugs and a group who are, then maybe go out with the mates who are not. Yeah, focus on something positive, whether it's football, music, whatever it may be, your passion, focus on that. It's about you finding your way forward.
I'm going too fast and I cannot see. Adrenaline high, it's a head rush. The world is in smoke like a broken dream. Survival kicks in, it's a head rush. And I'm dancing on fire, spinning out of control. And I'm leaving this town with a head rush. Will you come with me? Leave it all behind. Take it to the limit for a head rush.
Drugs, stuff like that, chemicals.
Rat poison, bleach and dead people.
Chemicals, probably waste products and stuff like that.
I think they're made of substances that are used for all different type of chemicals.
Drugs.
Good answer. What do you think's in the drugs?
Stuff that you're not supposed to have.
Stuff from car tyres, like what you make tyres out of. What do you think?
I'm not sure.
All different substances mixed in a bucket, whacked on like some type of material that's smokable and shoved in a packet.
Hayden, what illegal high is made of?
Loads of different drugs. Chemicals that can harm your body if they're ingested.
Take me to the limit. Take me to the limit. Take me to the limit.
From about 10 or so years ago, there was a rise of a new class of drugs. Originally, they were called legal highs, and they are now classified as what we call psychoactive substances. So they're controlled under what we call the Psychoactives Act, which has been in place since 2016. They are compounds which are in products which are known as things like Mamba or Spice. There is usually a product in the MPS market which has a similar effect to a controlled drug. Spice and the synthetic cannabinoids have been designed to potentially mimic cannabis and marijuana. Compounds known as synthocane. These are compounds which mimic cocaine and other amphetamines. There are things like synthetic cathinone. They were designed to mimic things like amphetamine, methamphetamine and MDMA. Before the psychoactives ban, many synthetic cannabinoids used to come in very brightly coloured packets, very attractive. Since the ban has happened, the packets have disappeared. What's happened is we've started seeing the synthetic cannabinoids appearing in similar bags to the cannabis. Users believed that because they were in these professional packets and there was all this ingredients on the back, that these were a safe, potentially safe product, and they are not. They are very, very dangerous compounds. Interestingly, one of the synthetic cannabinoids recently has actually been found to be present in a crystalline form and was actually being sold as MDMA which unfortunately led to a number of hospitalisations, and therefore this shows you the dangers of these substances. Another very common psychoactive substance is what we call NOx, or nitrous oxide. Basically it's known as hippie crack. It's a gas, laughing gas. These gases are filled into balloons and then the users inhale, and that produces potentially a rush of blood to the head. Unfortunately, that can lead to suffocation. Sometimes that can lead to people passing out and becoming unconscious because they just can't get enough oxygen into the body to remain conscious. The whole problem with new psychoactive substances is the unknown of exactly, what you're potentially taking. Since the psychoactives ban, we've reached a point where the compounds that are currently on the market, they produce much more significant and much more adverse effects. Confusion, violence, and also potentially a catatonic state where individuals almost freeze and are very unresponsive. This means that you're taking your life in your hands, and also you're playing Russian roulette with these substances. So basically the bottom line is you just cannot tell what drug you have got and how potent that drug is, and therefore you should just avoid at all costs.
With the MPS, there is no antidote, there is no drug we can give to bring them round from the state that they're in. We have to use stimulation, or we have to use other techniques if they're not conscious with an airway that we're worried about. In my opinion, when it was in the shops, you pretty much knew what was in the bag was what you were getting. But now I think it's getting cut with all sorts probably going in it. If it's easier to make, if it's cheaper to make. People are dying from taking MPS. People are becoming addicted to the drug itself. If I could, I would bring every young person on a night shift out with me to see the effects of MPS and what it does to people. They would see people in zombie states. They would see people vulnerable who could be attacked or assaulted by anyone and be absolutely powerless to do anything about it, because it's so dangerous, and the environment they're taking it in is very dangerous, very vulnerable. There are lots of myths around MPS and what to do if someone's had it. I've heard of putting people in ice cold baths, getting them to drink as much water as they can. They're all myths. If you're concerned that your mate has overdosed on MPS, dial 999 immediately. Firstly, get the ambulance on its way. The ambulance operator will stay online and advise you what to do, so you won't be on your own, but you must get some help to your friend. There are a few things you can be doing to help your mate recover by putting them in the recovery position as follows. Nearest arm into an L shape. Furthest hand across their cheek. Furthest leg, bend it. Pull your friend over. Bend the knee further to give them a good base. And open the mouth. That's the recovery position for your mate. The police don't attend an MPS overdose. They only attend If there's reports of violence or the potential of any weapons at the scene, if in doubt, call 999 and we'll make the decision on what to do.
Lethal highs?
Lethal highs. Kyle, take one. Yeah, got this.
I think people take it because of peer pressure, yeah.
Maybe think it's like the thing that
If you do.
everyone else is doing. So they're like, oh, I might as well try it, might as well, it's legal and I'm not going to get in trouble for it.
If all the mates are doing it and you're there and they're like, just try it, and then they're calling your names because you're not doing it, you're obviously going to do it, aren't you?
Would you?
No, I wouldn't. I'd just walk off and go home or something, or meet someone else.
Because if you sat with all your mates
and they're doing it,
and then like obviously you don't want to, and then they're peering you, pressing you into it, and then you're gonna think, well, I don't want to be called a muppet the rest of my life, so I better go and do it, Anna.
So you think someone would do it to fit into the group?
yeah, like
Pretty
don't want to lose
much.
your mates over it, do you?
Honestly, I do. I think peer pressure comes into it a lot. Like, oh, it's legal, it's allowed, innit? It's just have some, have some. No, you shouldn't have some. It's going to kill you in the end. It's not for you, it's for plants, it's fertiliser.
Peer pressure is massive, and we do a lot of workshops helping young people to handle peer pressure and different techniques that they can use to get out of situations where they don't want to lose face. Techniques to handle peer pressure that I teach my young people is, for instance, say one of my young person is interested in football, or, you know, I would actually get them to maybe make a layup and make an excuse up and say if someone's drinking on the streets or using MPS, they can make a layup and say, oh, do you know what, I need to be fresh for football tomorrow. Another one would be to use drama as well and really amplify the risks of using MPS. So I get young people to practice you being over dramatic, like, oh no, I'm not being that person who dies off using that ecstasy tablet. No way, I'll be the one on the front page of the newspaper. My mum will see it, and they use drama as a bit of humour to get out that situation. And then the friends might tend to kind of back off asking them as well, because they're, oh, I'm not going to be bothered asking him again because he goes on one. So just little techniques like that really as well. You know, just talking to your friends about your problems that you have. So I know it sounds a bit cliche, but a problem shared is a problem halved. You know, friends can help you out with issues that you have. It might be speaking to your parents, and if you don't feel comfortable, it might even just be, you know, doing things that you enjoy. Listening to music, you know, playing football, playing sports, going to your dance class, going to the gym. You know, we encourage young people to get involved in as many physical activities as well. You know, whether it is, you know, things that are around school, after school activities, you know, because that can release endorphins in the body. That's a feel-good chemical. That's going to make them feel better as well. So, yeah, that's a few tips. But just doing things that you enjoy, really.
So on paper, the police refer to them as NPS, but the public tend to refer to them as legal highs. And essentially this is a throwback from when they were legal. They were a legal alternative to illegal drugs, but since the Psychoactive Substances Act, they've become illegal, and they do mimic the effects of illegal drugs. So the current legislation to do with NPS is the Psychoactive Substances Act of 2016, and essentially that prohibits and places a blanket ban on the supply and production and distribution of psychoactive substances. If you're caught with a psychoactive substance, a legal high as it were, with your mates, and you're passing it round, that is technically supplying them with that substance, and you can get up to 7 years in prison for that. So what you've just seen in there, that happens every day, we do that every day, but actually the police are in your lives for an incredibly short amount of time. It's the aftermath for you which is important. It might affect your ability to get a job, it might affect your ability to go on holiday, it might affect where you're able to live, your tenancy, your ability to get a house in an area that you like. It might even affect your family's ability to get a job depending on what they're going for, and if they have to disclose if a family member's got a conviction. So it's so much more serious than a lot of people realise. I think often NPS can lead into other drugs, and we very often find that other drugs are mixed in with the thing that the young person thought was a psychoactive substance. When you're young and your friends are saying, just do this, just have a try, is it worth it? Is it worth 5 minutes, 10 minutes of your life that's potentially going to affect your entire future?
Look. Life chapter. Real talk. Yo. I'm a paranoid guy with a paranoid mind. All of my friends that are telling me lies, cause the legal highs, yeah, it was taking on my mind. I was so high, sending into death's ice. I said to my bro, I'm not leaving. Check him on the morning, the Steven's still breathing, yeah. And I'm still grieving. Those are my friends that I no longer bring, cause they rolled one joint and had 2 drugs. Another lying dead in a body bag. It's a shame, cause chemicals messing up my brain. It feels like that I'm going insane. All I wanted was that illegal rush, but it feels like that my heart has been crushed. All my organs have turned into mush. It feels like they're high on love, but really you're dying from the stuff. But really you're dying from the stuff. Life's not the same, life's not a game. Being nice, get hurt, that's the way it is. Don't that is the way you got to live. And when you're smoking it, you don't know what it does, cause it feels it can't be touched. And it's hard to get off the drug. It feels like you're being dragged to the floor. You're looking around, you can't hear it no more. So let me tell you a bit about my life. And yeah, I was addicted to legal highs. So thank you Les for saving my life. So weren't for you, I would have been alive. But really, I was smoking it daily, just trying to look for someone to save me. What do you think he was feeling? What do you think he was thinking? Please don't let him die, don't let his legal highs take his life. So thank you, Uncle Les, for saving my life. Cause without you, yeah, I wouldn't have been alive. So thank you, Uncle Les, for saving my life. You see the pain in my eyes. I'm sorry for the things that I did when I was high off it. I'm not living today or dying tonight. I'm not letting legal highs take my life. Cause I'm not living today or dying tonight. I'm not letting drugs take my life. I'm a paranoid guy with a paranoid mind. All of my friends that are telling me lies. Cause the legal highs, yeah, it was taking on my mind. I was so high, sending into death's eyes. I said to my bro, I'm not leaving. Check him on the morning, the Steven's still breathing, and yeah, and I'm still grieving. Those are my friends that I no longer bring. Cause they rolled one joint and had 2 drugs. Another lying dead in a body bag. It's a shame, crazy chemicals messing up my brain. It feels like that I'm going insane. All I wanted was that illegal rush, but it feels like that my heart has been crushed. All my old drinks have turned into mush. It feels like they're high on love, but really, you're dying from the stuff. But really, you're dying from the stuff.